The starting fives for our game. Here are tonight's starting lineups. First, for the East All-Stars, Derrick Rose is out there with Mayo. And playing at the center position, the premier low-post weapon out of Prentice, Mississippi, Big Al Jefferson. Then it's Paul George, and it's Anthony in at the 4 spot. And then for the West All-Stars, Tony Parker is out there with Kobe. And it's center, the most dominant physical presence in the NBA, the elite defensive big man, Dwight Howard. And it's Durant, and it's Aldridge in at the 4-man position.
Just a fun event to see so much talent here assembled in one place.
Well, it's really one of the reasons this weekend is such a fun time for the fans and really all of the NBA players involved as well.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And you just wonder how many more All-Star games does Kobe have ahead of him. I mean, this is his 16th All-Star nomination, second most in NBA history.
We talk about Bryant's great run. 4 All-Star game MVPs. Steve, that's tied with Bob Pettit.
Yeah, you know, last year, no gaudy numbers, just single digits in points, but his gritty defense and great passing were, I thought, instrumental in the West's win.
You know, it's always such a big to-do, a major event, a big time happening every time the All-Star game comes to town. Cities vie to host a big show, and it's a big boom to the local economy.
Yeah, restaurants, hotels, nightlife, it's one big celebration. And there's always that buzz in the air every time the All-Stars gather to play.
You know, I think one thing that makes the All-Star game so special is just the history involved. This event has been held since 1951, and a lot of those legends of the NBA past are here in attendance. Every All-Star game you can count on. You're going to see some heart-stopping plays. That was another one.
Here's Rose. Following the basket by Dwight Howard. Parker with the steal. Throws it up high. Kobe throws down the alley-oop slam.
Phenomenal alley-oop slam right there, guys.
They're taking advantage, Clark, of a team that looks lost out there.
Yeah, this is threatening to get kind of ugly out here.
And when the players step out on the court, you know, Steve, they know that they're writing their names in the pages of history.
Yeah, they're really making their mark on this Sunday night, but at the same time, they've just got to focus on playing the game. And sometimes you get caught up in the atmosphere and the moment, but for these players, it's all about just focusing on the game and trying to enjoy themselves.
Not a fast start here for the East All-Stars. 8-point game. And the call will be against Tony Parker. That is his first foul of the game. And the call will be against Tony Parker. That'll be his second foul of the game. Jeremy Lin, he's checked in for Tony Parker. Here in the first quarter with about 2 minutes gone by. George. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Well, he's an exciting young player. Almost 6'10", great athleticism, length, dynamic finisher at the rim, and he can guard multiple positions defensively.
And you know what, Steve? His growth defensively has been just as impressive. He uses that length to great advantage, contesting shots and coming away with deflections and steals.
Now here's Kobe. Takes the elbow jumper and drains it. Kobe's got his second basket of the night.
They've got themselves in front with some outstanding shooting right off the bat.
Yeah, it's been a clinic at that end of the floor, no question.
Mayo kicks to George. Pass to Rose. Back to George. It's good. This time the assist from Rose.
Well, Derrick Rose is back for his 4th All-Star game after missing last year, recovering from the knee injury, and he said that this game doesn't really hold much allure for him. He's all about the real action, but he clearly is a deserving All-Star, too.
He kicks to Mayo. Back to Rose. Feeds it to Carmelo. Outside, George. Connects from 3-point range. George has got 7. And back to Derrick Rose, former Rookie of the Year in 2009. League MVP in 2011. It's good for the league. And you've mentioned this many times, to have him back, Stephen.
No doubt. We've seen a spate of injuries from the league's stars over the last year or two. Whether it's Rose, Westbrook, Kobe Bryant, of course. Injuries always a part of the game, but boy, you just hate to see the great talents miss time.
Pass to Mayo. Inside to Jefferson. Kobe with the steal. Here's the lob to the hoop.
Surreal alley-oop that time, partner.
The pass, Clark, the catch, the dunk, all of it perfect.
Precision at its finest.
Man, and it all had to be perfect and in precision. That's not nearly as easy as they made it look.
Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. And it's going to be out of bounds. And they'll keep possession. New players in now for the East. There's 21 seconds left in the first quarter. Outside, Felton. He feeds it to LeBron. 6 to shoot. Outside for Rondo. The West All-Stars pull it in. Harden outside for 3. Love. And that does it for the first quarter. West All-Stars. A great event unfolding. 1 quarter of basketball already played. And welcome back, everyone, to this year's coverage of the NBA All-Star Game.
And, Kevin, already some highlight reel play.
Yeah, they're playing at a nice tempo right now, giving the fans a show. You know, you always want your side to win, but I think it's pretty common that you don't see too many fouls in these games year to year.
Steve, you're exactly right. I mean, I think we usually see a few here and there because guys are also reacting based on instinct, playing the game similar to how they know how to play basketball. But aside from that, you usually aren't going to see too many whistles.
From deep, Harden. Good. Harden's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. And look at how the hustle game has been going for the West All-Stars.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught him off guard. Playing airtight defense and coming up with the steal.
And we're also seeing a lot of fast break throughs, so this team doing a nice job getting easy points.
The East making a switch.
Well, playing in the All-Star game, something to really be proud of. And, of course, the starters are voted in by the fans. The reserves are voted in by the coaches. Either way, it's a heck of an honor. Boy, the bucket's coming fast and furious.
All offense out there, but that's what this game is all about.
Steve, you talk about the starters and the reserves, unlike in regular games. In an All-Star game, everyone gets a chance to play.
Yeah, and I think the hardest part for the coaches, Kevin, is distributing those minutes because everybody is deserving. Everyone's a great player. And usually what happens is the starters get the most minutes because the coaches understand that that's who the fans have voted on there, and that's who they want to see. Shaky defense down low again. It's been a mismatch in the paint.
I'm sure they didn't go into this one expecting to get battered like they have inside.
And the East All-Stars decide to take their first time out here.
Well, just too many easy buckets, in and around the paint. So he wants to put a stop to it. Each timeout is going to be used to try to tighten up the defense.
Guys, at this level, they won't miss often if you keep giving up looks inside, and they're paying for that right now. Good timeout here.
Catching up on the changes for the East. Paul George, he's checked in for Tobias Harris. And John Wall subbed in for Rajon Rondo.
Well, Kyrie Irving in his 3rd season in the NBA and his 2nd All-Star game, not bad, and he's shown he can go off in exhibition play. The MVP of the 2012 Rising Stars competition, he went for 34 points and made all 8 of his threes.
Right side, Wall. And the rebound goes to the West All-Stars.
You see the defenders get out of his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the bucket, but not that time.
George against Harden, and he's good on the 3-ball. Harden's got his 3rd basket of the night. And that shooting performance you mentioned from Kyrie Irving, Clark, I was there to see it. Steve, he was no slouch last year either.
Well, the numbers were off the charts. 32 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. And he definitely got the better of a little one-on-one kind of upsmanship against Brandon Knight. Remember late in that game.
They have a very long way to go to get within sight of the lead.
And from what we've seen thus far, I wouldn't hold my breath.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's Harden with the drive. That's good. Harden's got 11.
Well, he's obviously a very popular player, but look at the numbers for his team that he's put up this year. Just outstanding.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Steve. He's been making it happen, clearly focused, and I know he's looking to continue that effort for the second half of the season as well.
Here's Wall. James Harden picking up that last basket. Here's Monroe. Kept alive. And there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time.
Well, they've finally gotten into a rhythm offensively this quarter, and if they keep shooting like this, they won't be down for long.
Well, Steve, you can see them looking to cut that lead down little by little to turn things around, and that's how you got to do it. How do you eat a big pizza? One slice at a time. Well, they ran a nice play there, Kevin, to set up the easy dunk.
Yeah, he got help from his teammate and ran his man right straight into the pit.
Yep, and that's the offensive player's job. Run him into the screen.
And it was a great pick, too, Clark. I mean, he may have lowered his shoulder a little bit, but he got him pretty clean.
Here's Mayo, and that's going to be out of bounds. And they retain possession. Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played. The East All-Stars shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game. That free throw good from Anthony.
Carmelo Anthony, of course, one of the premier scorers in the league, the top scorer last season. And he led the East in scoring last year with 26 points in the All-Star game.
For Carmelo Anthony, this is his 7th All-Star appearance.
Well, he's never won an All-Star MVP, but I can see him doing it one of these years. His ability to score from anywhere. Last year he had 12 rebounds. You know that Carmelo can stuff the stat sheet, as Clark might say.
Look at Clark over here laughing. Clock is at 3. Paul George with the steal.
And they can guarantee this is the last possession of the quarter if they hang on to it.
And that's probably what they're going to do here.
Now here's Durant. Howard in the post. So as we conclude the first half, so far fairly...
Now, presented by Sprint.
And on
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And welcome back to the second half of the NBA All-Star Game. Always an exciting night of basketball.
Yeah, and Kevin, often the second half is where you see that intensity turned up a bit.
Well, yeah, the first half maybe a little more loose, and then the second half is where it can get more competitive once the game is on the line.
George dishes to Jefferson. Back to George. Stolen by Harden.
Active hands prevented an easy bucket that time.
Tipped. Here's the break. Rose passes to George. Back to Rose. And there's the feed to Carmelo. Harden grabs the miss.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Any extra possessions that you can get, either through steals or rebounds, are so critical in this game. Easy call there.
No question about that one. You could hear the impact from where I am.
The West All-Stars have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2. And both free throws good for Gabe. And here are the East All-Stars now. Outside Rose. And Parker with the block.
I think we've seen the defensive intensity start to ramp up a little bit.
Yeah, I think so, Steve. A little more effort here as the game has progressed.
The East All-Stars have made 6 of their 7 attempts at the line in this one. The first one falls. Both good from the line that time. Kobe with it. 8 points for him. And a minute played as the second half gets going. And here's the fast break. And they will get the basket here, folks, as they rule goaltending.
And a pleasure to watch him work at that end of the floor.
He thought he had that one clean, but the ref saw it differently. They'll count the basket.
And that call gets an instant reaction from the fans.
Well, that's a whistle that did not go over very well.
Howard kicks to Kobe. Launches a 3. That's good. Kobe's got 11 points.
A little confusion defensively.
Yeah, you know what? He sent the D a little message with that three. Well, this is the 8th All-Star appearance for Dwight Howard, a fun-loving guy, great personality. Seems to really relish the spotlight. Of course, was the dunk contest champ back in 2008.
Timeout called. East All-Stars. Well, for Dwight Howard, he hasn't put up big scoring numbers in this game, and Single digits over the last 3 years, Steve.
He has shot 11 three-pointers as an All-Star. Oh, so I'm not sure he's quite taking this game real seriously. 2 for 11 from 3 for Dwight Howard in All-Star games. You know what? If you're going to do it, now's the time, right?
Yes, sir.
Fire away. One of the sweetest moves in the game, the reverse layup in traffic.
Kobe gets a screen from Durant. Kobe kicks to Duncan. Ellis outside, uncovered, and that's good for 2. And here is Mayo. Pass to Rose. Back to Mayo. Jefferson, a screen on Kobe. Mayo dishing to George. Drills the three-pointer. George has got 10 points in the game.
Very well executed pick to give him all kinds of space to get that one off.
Aldridge backing in. On the wing. Can't get it to go. So the East All-Stars will take it the other way. And the foul on Monte Ellis. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Rajon Rondo's checked in for the East. And stolen by Aldridge. Rondo. And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here. And the West All-Stars have possession. Back to Duncan. Knocks it loose. And here they come. Goes up.
That athletic play. Incredible.
Wow.
You know, Kevin, the fans love to see the big dunks, and they've not been disappointed here.
No, these guys have been throwing it down with reckless abandon. Just an all-star caliber highlight reel.
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. The West All-Stars have hit all 4 of their chances so far in this one. The West making some changes. Howard comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And Tony Parker subbed in for Monte Ellis.
Well done again. He doesn't have the same problems at the line that plague some of the NBA's other big men.
Now here's Rondo.
That foul gives him 4, so he's just 2 away from being Dairy Queen.
This is his 2nd trip to the free throw line. O.J. Mayo is checked in for Paul George. And Rondo drops them both.
Some great free throw shooting so far in this second half.
I think they should keep trying to initiate contact and get back to the line until they start missing from there. But as it is, they're perfect so far, so keep it up. The defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
Anthony, the pass to Mayo. He dishes it to Jefferson. Kicks to Rose. Outside Mayo. 6 on the shot clock. And there's the pass to Carmelo. And the rejection by Love. He got it up. And it's good. Hold on. The officials may want to look at that one on the replay, Mon. And not so fast. The officials are going to check that shot again and make sure they got it right before we go to... We've been having a great time here, and we hope you have been too. The All-Star Game coverage continues. Thanks again for tuning in here to 2K Sports.
Both teams putting on a show.
Boy, it sure has been fun to watch, hasn't it?
Gets it to go. 6 points for O.J. Mayo.
They've got to continue to put pressure on the defense by probing inside. That's what's really working for them.
And when you're doing the job they are inside, it takes pressure off the perimeter guys.
Outside, Kobe. For 3. That's good.
He's one of the elite scorers in league history, able to create space for his shot with unbelievable footwork and ball handling ability, fundamentals, and, of course, unfazed by an aggressive defender.
Well, he's used to being the focal point of a defense, so that doesn't bother him at all. Never phases him. And also doesn't faze him when he misses shots. He always believes he's a shot away from going on a run, and he's always hungry for buckets.
And let's get your take, guys, on the hustle stats for the West All-Stars.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ball game.
And the other thing they're doing is they're forcing turnovers and then converting those miscues into points at the other end.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
Shot from free throw range. Good. Kobe's got 7 now in this quarter.
He's been one of their more reliable options today, guys. I mean, his shooting has led them to this lead.
The West All-Stars making a switch here. Harden's checked in. Rondo on top, guarded by Harden. Anthony missing again.
Well, he hasn't had much success shooting the ball, but it's not too late for him to get it turned around and start contributing.
And that one's good by Gay.
They've done a lot of good work with the ball, really moving both the ball and moving bodies, getting quality chances at the hoop.
And they're not wasting chances when they get them. I mean, they're hitting their shots.
And Rudy Gay picks up the foul. That's his first foul. A little over a minute and a half of the fourth quarter gone now. Off his foot, and it's whistled a kick. Lynn against Rondo. And George kicks to Anthony. And that one ends up out of bounds. They'll keep possession.
That was an awfully risky pass, guys. Lucky it didn't wind up as a steal.
Well, it nearly did wind up as a steal, but no harm done in the end. They hang on to possession.
Here's Rondo. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. It's on DeMarcus Cousins. He's off on the first. And he ends up missing both free throws. And the West All-Stars have possession. They led the game at 1 point by 20. And we're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter now. Lynn against Rondo. Leaps for it, and so out of bounds it goes. And they'll keep possession. We've got 1:55 left here in the fourth quarter. Shot clock at 6. The drive by Anthony.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
The dish now to Love. And that one's good.
It's been the story of the game for him. Fortunately, his teammates have bailed him out.
Stolen by Jeremy Lin. Love outside. Back to Lin from outside the arc. Jefferson with the rebound. Jefferson's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. And there's a whistle. That goes on Jeremy Lin. That's his first foul. And the East with some changes. And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Harris kicks to Felton. Out to Harris. And that comes off the assist by Raymond Felton.
And they have to mix it up defensively. That was just too easy.
Felton against Kobe. Howard with a screen on Felton. Kobe dishes to Howard. Hit his leg. And it's being called a kickball. Here's Kobe. 56 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Into LaMarcus Aldridge. Howard can't hit.
Had a pretty good look at the basket, but defensively they did a nice job rotating, forcing the miss.
Here's LeBron. A stupendous finish in traffic.
If you battle for the offensive rebound and come up with it, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on a follow just like he got there.
That's an easy shot there. That's a shot that he should make more often than not.
And he uses the glass on the layup.
This run probably just a case of too little too late.
But at least they're still going after it and playing hard. It would have been very easy to throw in the towel a while ago.
They certainly haven't let these fans down tonight. It's been a fun night to be in the building.
It has been. I mean, the atmosphere has been great, and no doubt that helped with the winning effort.
Gets it to go. Now Durant. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Parker. Looking for Aldridge, he gets it there. An emphatic alley-oop jam.
Boy, they're extending their lead. It kind of feels like they're just piling on here as we come to an end.
Well, hey, let's just call it what it is. They are trying to run it up on them.
Irving for three, and Parker with the block. So no problem for the rest of.
Like the legend of the Phoenix, all ends with beginnings.